No knockouts, Tonya TKO here. I'm hoping that the sound is good and that everything is flowing. That is what I'm hoping. We're going to be talking a little bit today about where we are as people. This is a check in. I haven't checked in with you all since I've been back. So I wanted to make sure that I did check in today because I know that I am personally going through some changes. I met with my business coach today, and she let me know that just recently she was going through some changes as well. So I wanted to just kind of check with you all. I'm just getting the link right now. I just wanted to kind of check in with you. Oh, my captions are not up. Give me 1 second. Oh man, it'll be just 1 second, and then I'll get that up. We have people who have started to come in. L is an L. Listen, I you did not do what I asked you to do on the last broadcast. And I was refreshing and refreshing, but we'll get to it today, hopefully. All I need you to do is just comment on any video on the other page so that I could be able to link your account to admin over there. All right, so I just got that. So I see that you all are here. Let me get the link up and popping. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Zahara is like, you have a business coach? Yes, of course. I actually have two business coaches. I have a business coach that works with me on mindset, and then I have a business coach that works with me on the actual implementation. So yeah, of course. Far too many of us, we don't elicit the assistance of professionals to assist us, like people to really help us get where it is that we need or want to be. Yes, I have two business coaches. I had two business coaches. I was seeing an endocrinologist. I was also seeing an exercise physiologist. I go to professional places when I'm doing my fast. I don't just sit at home waiting for my heart to collapse or anything like that. I elicit the assistance of the best in the business. All right, or if I can't get the best in the business, I start from where it is that I'm at. And then I take the next step, and then that usually helps me get to the next step and the next step. So I got the link. Let me get this inside of the text. Give me one moment. You have a business coach, of course. Once you get past a certain level, you have to get professionals around you. And these things go in stages too. So I'm sending out the text notification squad. So Ivana's energy is low. I'm going to open up the phone lines. And we're going to do that. And I have kind of simmered out in weight. So my weight is kind of just simmered out. Because when I went on vacation and I wasn't eating my regular, I was just like, oh, la, 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 la. And then so I gained some weight, but now it has simmered, and now I'm going to work on releasing. But I did learn some lessons. So the text just went out, but I did learn some lessons about implementing real life change in my life that is travelable, that is not conducive upon a narrow set of activities. All right, so let me see. TKO Tech Squad. Let me get this message out on Telegram. And the live alerts. So if you want to get free alerts, the link is in the description. If you want to get the text notification, actually, I didn't even turn on the Apple's thing. Yeah, so Dipped in Indigo has a personal trainer. This is what I'm saying. For especially if you're Black, I've noticed that there's this you better not ever ask for help. You better be proficient at everything kind of attitude that we have among us. And I'm just here to say, elicit the assistance of professionals. That's what I'm going to say. Elicit the assistance of professionals and get people who know what they're doing, who are specialists in their field to assist you. You know, what am I doing? I'm not doing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I am. For far too often, we're like, oh, I'm not going to spend the money on this. I'm not going to spend the money on that. And it's like, invest the money, invest it. Because at the end of the day, this is your life. At the end of the day, this is your life. And what is the quality of your life? You know what I mean? What's the quality of it? So let me just get this. And it's like you have to take your life into your hands. All right, there we go. All right, so welcome in, everybody. We are in the building. I'm getting ready to go live on all platforms because we're going to have a robust conversation today. All right. Zahara is saying, I did know that business coaches were a thing. Yeah. Alpha is saying, why invest in being alone? If you have a coach, you're not alone. You're with your coach. I don't understand. This is exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about not going it alone. And if you're talking about relationships, we can also talk about that as well. All right, let's get live on all of these other platforms. Let's see. It looks like it looks like it looks like our stuff is working again. The sound is working. And Alpha, why don't you call me? For those of you who watch Walking Dead, you all know, don't call me Ma, call me Alpha. You all remember that. All right, let's go ahead and get live on these other platforms. All right, we're live on Twitch. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. And of course, we are live on YouTube. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I am your host, Tonya TKO. I am a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. On this channel, we react to video content that I feel have self-love lessons in there, and then we talk about it, and we work on finding the self-love lessons that are there in each of these videos for us. So I want us, because after this video, because we're gonna talk, I'm gonna turn on the phone lines, I'm gonna do I'm gonna put on some eyebrows and some eyeliner, and we're gonna finish that Derek Jackson's wife video, part 3, because we have been delaying this so much. We've been delaying it, and we need to go ahead and get that done. Hey, we got one Twitchy over there. All right. So, Alpha Omega, if you'd like, you can always call in and say whatever it is that you have to say to me directly. You don't have to hide behind comments and all that other stuff. Come forward and let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. All right. So, the phone lines are open. So, I'm going to tell you all, oh, my thing is not flashing. You remember I had a thing on my thing. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me see. Oh my goodness, the thing is not there anymore. Oh, cuz they so things get updated and then they just, but remember I had the little thing that would go around with my voice. It was like do 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 do. Oh. All right. Well, Alicia is saying smoke show. No, this is not a smoke show. We're just having a conversation. No smoke, no smoke. All right, so the phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I'm going to tell you all a little bit about what it is that I'm going through. Oh, let me set my timer so that I can give you all a Cash App reminder. We're going to set the timer to 20 minutes. We'll set it to 20 minutes so that we can make sure. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. So, one of the things that I've been going through is I have been experiencing a little bit of burnout. I've been feeling like some of the conversations that we're having have been really stupid, and some of the people it just feels like the conversation just is going round and round in circles, like they're not really getting anywhere, right? And I really want to focus on solution. I want to focus on creating shifts and creating change. I'm working on getting us a coaching group behind the scenes so that we can meet once a week and do the internal work to make sure that we are doing the things that we need to do to be our best selves, to create that change, to take accountability, to learn our emotions and how to speak up and how to advocate for ourselves and how to have healthy, difficult conversations, how to hold ourselves accountable, how to create change within ourselves, how to know the difference between healthy critique and abuse. So a lot of these different things we're going to be doing behind the scenes, and so that's one of the things that I'm working on getting for us, right? So I have been just the oh, I don't have my earpiece in to even know when a call is coming in. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. I'm still getting used to all of the new things that we got going on. All right, so I got my earpiece in now. All right, and so I've just been feeling this longing. I've been feeling this, like people send me videos, and some of the topics are things that I would have wanted to talk about before, but I just don't want to talk about those anymore. I've been feeling just sick to my stomach, just even thinking about trying to broach some of these topics. And so I am in the process of reinvention. I'm in the process of figuring out what my next step is. And I'm trying to figure out, is that a degree in psychology? Is it a certificate in culinary arts and write a cookbook for you all? Is it me going out into the wilderness and doing a silent meditation retreat? What is it? What does it look like? And when I was talking with my business coach earlier, she was telling me that just recently, she had a kind of existential kind of experience herself where she just really had to reevaluate what she's doing, how she's doing it, etc. Delia is asking, how do you join the text notification squad? The link is in the description, but you can also go here, www.tonyatko.com, and then click on the text tab. I just put the link inside of the comments area, so it's right there on the screen. Um, so there's a lot of things that are happening. I came across this guy's videos yesterday, and it was so random, but the universe has a way of putting things in front of you at a time that you need to see it. And so this guy, he's an astrophysicist, right? He looks like he's a mix with black kind of looking guy. And I was just looking around at some of his videos, and it's like, here's this astrophysicist with grills in his mouth, all these big bulging muscles everywhere. And I was like, what is this guy's story? Like, I came across this thing, and I was just like, just so curious, right? And then so I started looking around at his videos, and apparently he was geared up to have a career in professional football, and that didn't work out. His career came to a screeching halt before he was ready for it to come to a halt, I guess from some knee injuries or knee sickness or whatever, right? And then he was like, well, what do I do next? And it was a long path. Like, he apparently had not even, I guess because his football was life for him, he wasn't even up to speed on his basic college education. So he had to go back to community school, community college, and get up to speed on general math and reading aptitudes and stuff. And after he did that, he decided that he was he was going to dive into school to become an astrophysicist. So he went and he got his master's in, I believe he said physics or chemistry or something, I don't know. And then he is getting his PhD in whatever it is that astrophysicists get their PhDs in. And I came across his page at just the right time yesterday because I was like, wow. So you can be going on a path and life just really kind of throws a monkey wrench in your gears. And then from there, you can just switch. You can go to school for something as random seeming as astrophysicism. Is that the word? Physicism, right? You can pivot. You can reinvent yourself. You can do something that other people may see as random. And you can create a change in your life. And I was happy to have come across his stuff because in seeing that, I was like, wow. So, yeah, so there are lots of people who come to what they consider to be a dead end. And then they just switch. They just shift and they do something far out. And I just spent some time just looking through his videos, answering questions that I had in my head. And I was like, okay, I got you. I got you. And so I am opening up the phone lines to talk with you. Astrophysics, that's what it's called, not physicism. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, so I'm just gonna put on some eyebrows and stuff like that. I have the phone lines open. I haven't gotten a call, so I don't know if the lines are working. Because remember, we just finished having all of these audio issues. So I don't even know if it is working. So, but I have them open. So let me get because I don't know right now, because you know what, I went on that vacation. Well, I went on my sabbatical to kind of just take some time out because I was experiencing a little bit of burnout, and I just took some time off. And when I came back, I was just looking at the emails that I was getting. And the emails that I was getting were of topics that it just seems like we're just going in circles. And it seems like, hold on, my phone line is ringing, so I am hearing it. Let's test this. You're on Air Live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yes, my name is Danielle Nelson, and I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, I don't see your thing in here. Okay, say that again.
My name is Danielle Nelson, and I'm calling
Oh,
from Detroit, Michigan.
oh, hey, Danny. So talk to us. Were you just testing the
Hey,
lines or did you want to talk?
I feel astrophysicist. I am 60,
You said you're 50 or
and
60.
yes, I'm 50, and I'm feeling like changing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling like changing. I feel so free. So I want to do something that allow me that freedom. So I get it. I'm feeling the same way. I went on a vacation by myself in April to like I said, you went out to you
Yeah.
maybe go out to the woods and be quiet and
Mm-hmm.
meditate and think. I did that. I did that in April. Went down to Orlando and then drove to the beach to Daytona and just reflected. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a thing to open up your horizon, new fields, and I
Oh, your phone
decided
is
after
breaking
all
up
my
for me for some reason. Check your connection and all of that because I want to be able to hear what you're saying.
oh, okay, I'm at work.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, all right. And you talking about a change. Okay. All right, go ahead, girl. Finish. Go ahead. I'm gonna listen closely. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I agree with you 100%. Like I support it. I'm a lover of learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I'm gonna be a pilot.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
girl. All right.
Yes, yes. I'm about to fly planes out here.
Okay. What type
And
of
I'm
planes
so
are you going to
excited.
fly? Are you going to do like commercial liners or like small little planes?
Commercial. I want to do commercial.
Okay. Oh, look at you. You know what? I support you. I support a change. I support reinvention. I support all of that.
Yes.
I
And
support all of
it's
that.
all about skills. I appreciate you. First of all, I've been rocking with you ever since. It's been a long time. Like I used to buy your vitamin E oil.
Oh, I know that's right. Okay. All right.
But yeah, I get it completely. Right now, I am, a federal employee. I work for the federal government. I work in IT, so that's my um what I'm doing currently. Before that, I was in law enforcement. So
Oh,
I
okay.
switch it up all the time, girl.
Okay. Oh, well, so you know what? That's inspiring. You know what? I like your gusto because you know what? At the age of 50, one eyebrow is up
Mhm.
here, one is down there. At the age of 50, you really can have reinvented yourself two or three times by then. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because it's like,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
you can live many different lives in this one lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yes.
support you, my
Yes.
girl. I support you. Thank you.
Yes, but I was feeling you too. I when you said you're feeling, I'm feeling it too. And I took my good medical insurance and I went to a menopause specialist because I'm like, wait a minute, something not right. you know,
Okay.
because I've been feeling the same way, very tired, very drained. I've been having to really stick to schedules and stick to my meditation and singing bowls. I've been
Mm.
really having to, or I won't feel right because I've been so drained. It's draining.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So what has
Mhm.
your menopause specialist told you? What have you learned?
Oh, so far, I went there. We talked. My all my hormone levels are low.
Okay.
Um, my blood pressure was high when I was there, so she told me I need to get out under control because I gained like 10 pounds. So I hit the gym Monday and Tuesday. Today my off day. I'm gonna hit the gym, so I'm gonna get this 10 pounds off me and get my blood
Hold on for
pressure
just one moment.
regulated.
Hold on for just one moment. I'm on live. What's
Mhm.
up? What you say? Really? All right, I'll be down. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so we're going to. She told me for right now to take a SSR, which is like something like Zoloft or Prozac to help with the night sweats and the hot flashes. But I have another appointment on the 12th to discuss hormonal replacement therapy. And she
Okay.
told me that it works well, but you cannot use hormonal replacement therapy permanently. And
Okay.
also, she told me you have to be very careful. Like you can't have any, ongoing diseases like, diabetes, hypertension. That's why she wanted me to get my blood pressure together.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I will say? Before
Mhm.
you do anything, get more than one opinion and also see
Mhm.
what
Okay.
natural alternatives are and then do the thing that's right for you.
Yes. Yes. I do. I haven't done too much research. Like I took, like some ladies told me, take vitamin E. I'm lowering my meat intake because I feel like food triggers a lot of the symptoms of the menopause symptoms. Food. So I've been trying to eat clean.
Well, you know what? I don't know, but I will say go to the
Mhm.
specialist, ask them about
Mhm.
natural alternatives, speak to natural people, weigh the pros and cons, and do
Mhm.
what is right for you. Um, find the best information for you. That's what I'm going to say.
Yes. Okay, that's good. That's good advice. I have not, but I am going to because I've only went to the one specialist. But I am going to do some research on the natural because I'm for you on that. I don't want to have too many foreign substances, medications and things of that nature in my body. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
hold you up. I want to save time for another caller, and I've been binge watching you lately, girl.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad. What was the last video you saw?
Oh my goodness. The last video I saw was you was trying to get that guy that was the mixed guy that was had said that stuff
Oh, you know
about,
what? I don't want, let's not bring that up because this is an
okay, yeah,
ongoing, this is
yeah.
not a pleasant. Yeah, you know what I will say? This is what I will say publicly, right?
Mhm.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of
Mhm.
people who watch content about
Mhm.
narcissists and narcissistic
Mhm.
personality disorder and
Mhm.
the ways in which narcissists behave. And I realized
Mhm.
from this situation that from the outside, people can't tell who the narcissist is because apparently there are people who are really good at seeming disarming and seeming affable and seeming moot and benign, but these people are very dangerous and they
Mm.
lie
Mm.
and they
Mm.
pretend as if they're the ones being aggressed upon. Meanwhile, they're the aggressor that are doing some very dangerous, hurtful, and harmful things to other people. And they're
Mhm.
pretending as if that's what's happening to them. And
Mm.
so
Mm.
I actually
Really?
had I actually had somebody comment on one of my videos, and she was calling me a narcissist in relation to a particular situation that I think you may be referring to. And I said to her, I
Mhm.
was like, please be careful because if you look at, this information about narcissism and you can't tell who is who in this scenario, then you have to be careful because you could be being used as a tool,
Mhm.
right? Like this person may be using you as a tool to attack an innocent person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, so people who listen to your narcissistic videos and stuff like that, please be very
Mhm.
aware that in real life that you may be a little bit confused about who exactly is who. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's real out here. It is very real out here. And I had not studied up on NPD and these types of people because the type of woman that I am and the ways in which I love myself, these people are not attracted to me or they just get out of my life very quickly. But with the work that
Mhm.
I do, sometimes I come into contact with people who have some issues going on inside of them and I need to be versed in these things. But yeah, I'm just going to say people be
Mm.
very alert and be prepared for the real life drills, right? Because the
Yeah.
drills that because like people are not going to, it's like we watch these stupid sitcoms and these stupid sitcoms have this happy ending with a neat little bow at the end of a 22-minute segment and everybody skips off into the night happy. The narcissist in your life is not going to come out and be like, as I've done so wrong. Wow, it's because of this and I'm gonna get help. No, it doesn't happen that way. These people will pretend down to the ground, right?
Yeah. Right.
And
I
so
agree.
I'm in a very dangerous situation right now that I haven't spoken about publicly because of the danger that exists.
Okay. All right. Well, we can boomerang back to the pilots just for your audience. They
Mm-hmm.
are 180,000 pilots short. They are reimbursing for the training. In the training, you can fast track it in 8 to 10 months, and you can fly commercial planes.
Are they short pilots? Well, girl, I'm
Yes.
glad that you said
Yes.
something. Okay. Because I know
Yep. It's
pilots be
they
making
have.
that big money. So, yes, I love that.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, they have all types of scholarships and things on the FAA website, FAA.com.
Perfect. You know what? Thank you for letting the people know. Thank you for letting the
Yes.
people know. So, my dear, go on and get back to work. I'm going to take the next call, okay?
All right. I love you. Keep
Love
doing what
you
you're doing,
too.
and thank you.
All right, Mama. Talk
Bye.
to you later. Bye bye. All right. So, it is time. I am on my schedule to talk about the text notification squad. If you'd like to join the text notification squad to get a text whenever I go live, the link is in the description. You just go to tonyatko.com, click on text, and you never miss it. Oh, there's my alarm right there. Let me set it I'm gonna do my 20 another 20 minutes. S- Um, what did I want to add to that? You know what? Let's take a quick break. Let's take a quick break, and I'm gonna read the apples when we come back. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So I want to encourage you all to support independent content creators. I was talking with someone in the comments who was criticizing me for for asking for cash apps and contributions. And I was like, you got to support it. It's like there's certain topics that these sites just don't like. And if you don't support independent content creators, then that's when you get a bunch of people talking about stuff inside their videos that are annoying and that you don't just support independent content creators. Support so that people can stay independent. And so you can, let's see, continue to get the topics that you like, not lose your content creators to burnout. I mean, how many content creators do we know that just left and just never came back? They just burnt out. We've lost so many resources. So I want us to be able to just stay on top of that. That was a 2-minute break. We've gotten in a few apples. Let me read these apples right here. And then let me put another 20 minutes on there. We'll come back in another 20 minutes. So this QR code on the screen is a way that you can contribute to the Cash App. It is $ Tonya TKO. And Stefan says change is happening. I love that. Oh, Britt says sent on PayPal. Let me check the PayPal real quick. I don't have like a one app to be able to see all of the things at once. So let me look for PayPal in my apps. I don't have a way to put the PayPal on the screen because PayPal shows your address and stuff on the air. So I definitely don't want to do that. And so, hey, we have Brittany. Okay. So Brittany sends $5 and says for support. So thank you very much, Brittany. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And then on Cash App, Charlotte sends $10 and says, welcoming the changes. Good to see you, Tonya. Thank you. And Rakaya sends $2 and says, hello, Tonya. Heart, heart, heart. All right. Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me open the phone lines back up. And then I'll probably take another call or two before, because I have to finish up my little bit of makeup that I'm putting on. It looks like my eyebrows are straight enough. What else can we do? Somebody's talking about narcotics in the workplace. What in the world? You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tonya, this is Renee calling from Atlanta.
Hey, Renee from Atlanta. Let me turn your volume up because you're a little low for me for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
No, I'm just going to turn your volume up on my end. All right, go ahead.
So, first of all, I wanted to say Happy Wellness Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? I like that
And
Wellness Wednesday. You know what, girl? You're going to make that catch on. It was somebody who had a typo and called them cash apples. And then I was like, wow, I really like that. And then that's how we turned it into apples.
well, I,
So,
I try to practice wellness in some capacity at least 5 days of the week, whether it's walking,
mm-hmm,
hiking, being in nature, because it will help you, like, it will drastically improve your life, and it will also help you, like, work through stressful situations.
mm-hmm,
But when you were talking about the narcissist, I immediately I thought back to a workplace narcissist that I
mm,
dealt with, and you talked about how people don't recognize some people
mm,
for who they really are.
mm-hmm,
Um, but I've been working with people for most of my life, and I can always, if I encounter somebody and something about them is off, I've learned not to question it,
mm-hmm,
but unfortunately, I was in healthcare, and the people around me, mainly management, could not pick up that this person was not a healthy person to
mm-hmm,
be in a
mm-hmm,
environment providing services to patients.
mm-hmm,
Um, but they were able to mask. Well, they weren't able to mask with me, but with a lot of other people, they were able to mask the fact that they had narcissistic traits. Um,
mm,
Everything had to be centered around them. And if for some reason, like, I disengaged with them, and that
mm-hmm.
just caused them to go into a whole adult tantrum.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just say that to say that we don't talk about narcissistic people and personality disorders in the workplace, and how that can completely destroy what would otherwise be a relatively healthy work environment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I appreciate that. However, I don't want to get stuck on talking about other people. I want to talk about us and how we're doing and what we're doing, for change. You said that you practice wellness 5 days a week. What was it that made you decide to go that route?
So years ago, I worked out of state for a food bank, and they started a regional challenge to see which companies could get the most steps.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with that, and it kind of morphed into me and my cohort of coworkers doing our own wellness walks. And then when I came back home, I just kept it up. Um,
Mm.
so instead of going to eat at lunch, I would pack a snack, but I would do a wellness walk during my lunch period in
Okay.
between seeing patients. And then I would eat a snack once I got back to my desk. And when I tell you, it changed my entire life.
Oh, how did it change your whole life? What did the walks do for you?
So the walks helped me reduce stress. Um, if there was some chaos, it helped me be calm. It helped me not be reactionary. It helped me think clearer, make
Mm-hmm.
smarter decisions. Um, it really, I saw all sorts of, like, amazing wildlife on my wellness walk. So it was the difference of staying inside versus going outside was drastic. So even if, let's
Mm.
say, I had to work late, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a big deal because I had taken the time to be to myself and be in nature.
Nice. Nice. I love that. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. I'm going to take the next call.
Bye bye.
All right. All right. So I appreciate all of these calls and really getting down to the nitty-gritty of what self-care and what taking care of yourself really looks like. So I appreciate you all calling in. Phone lines are open. Oh, where's the thing? There we go. 323-488-3149. And then as soon as I get my makeup on, we're going to watch the final trilogy of this Danae Jackson and her boondoggle of a marriage because the story is developing, but I haven't caught up with it because I just am not really all that interested. You're in the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tonya, it's James, and I'm from Dallas.
Hey, you know what? Hold on for just one moment, James. I want to address someone in the comments. There was a person in here who was named Alpha Omega. I encourage you to call in so that we can have a conversation because I'm interested in hearing what it is that you have to say. All right, so James from Dallas, welcome to the line. Talk to me. What's your commentary this afternoon?
I definitely agree. I feel it's the time of season and rebirth. One, because we transitioning into summer and spring and those
Mm-hmm.
seasons. But I don't know. I feel like since prop for me was a little bit before COVID, there's been like a pressure, and I've talked to other people who've experienced it. It's like to do more and to see more, and it's like, well, what is it? I'm like, Loki. I think it's just people getting older and the human experience is wanting to express itself. Um, and I think to a degree, I don't want to sound too far fetched, but I think to a degree, with the rolling in of the new technology, like with AI, it's making so much things so much more easier to do, and the high efficiency rate of things. I feel like it's even putting a little more pressure for the human to express itself because all these jobs are being taken, and like now you can write 1,000-page essay, and have AI write it, and you can just sit on the couch. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, and I'm gonna say some of this came from the book The Celestine Prophecy. This isn't just my own
Oh, I
thought, but
read that years ago. Okay.
um, I just feel like it's we're as humans, I think we're at a really pivotal time. Like a lot of religious people feel like these are the end days, which for somebody, the days are always ending, or whatever, and they feel like Bible prophecies are coming true, or whatever. Quoting the end of the world. Me personally, I think the world is quite beautiful, and I wouldn't want it to end. I was like, a lot of times these things come true because of our actions. Well, a lot of us, I would say, are passive, and it's like, well, it's gonna come true. It's gonna come true. I'm like, well, things don't necessarily. I feel things don't necessarily have to come true. We can like sometimes fight the order of things, so to
Mm.
speak. But I do want to tap in on the lady, not talk about her, but she mentioned hormones and hormone replacement therapy. Barbara O'Neill, she does a beautiful lecture on she's an Australian woman, but she does a beautiful lecture on hormones.
Mm.
And one of the things that she recommends is wild yam, or Mexican wild yam root. I worked at a chiropractic office. I'm a massage therapist. I worked at a chiropractic office, and one of my clients, she said she had to change her sheets every two to 3 days because she would leave salt crystals in her bed from sweating so much.
Mm.
And I recommended her the wild yam root. And after within like 2 3 weeks, I remember she always wore this wig, and I remember she was laying face down on the table. She was so excited. She was, James, I don't have hot flashes no more. And the wig was just shaking. She was so excited. But
Oh, wow.
that is one of the best things. I'm also training to become a nutritionalist as well. Um,
Oh,
cabbage is
okay.
something that's Cabbage is something that's great for helping women get rid of excess estrogen. A lot of times, as Barbara O'Neill explains, and it's a beautiful lecture. And it's people who are, I would say, like Christian and religious based. They would love that lecture. Her
It's
lecture
on
series
YouTube?
even more. Yes, it's on YouTube. It's
Okay.
absolutely free. There is a little controversy behind her because her husband created a political party that went against the Australian government and how they were treating their version of the Section 8
Oh.
people, like
Mm.
with their mandates on COVID, like with the COVID things, they were kind of mishandling their people. So her
Mm.
husband joined a political party that went against the Australian government, and
Oh,
they
wow.
went against her business, and like kind of she can't even live in Australia anymore because of what she was
Okay.
giving. So there is a
I
little
want, I want, I want, I
controversy.
want to pivot and get back. Let's bring it back. Let's
Okay,
bring it back.
sorry, but beautiful lecture. One, she talks about reducing your exposure to estrogens, and a lot of there's contaminants within the meats.
Mm.
Um, a lot of contaminants within the plastics. She explains that what is it? The phytochemicals within the plastics are several thousand times stronger than the human plastics, and they dominate in the human hormone receptors. So, like a lot of plastic containers. Don't eat out of plastics. Um,
Yeah.
Stop taking specific contraceptives. There are other ways to do that. Number one, keep a
Okay,
quarter
well, you know
between your
what?
knees.
I don't want to get too far into because I don't know your qualifications. We don't know you. We don't know what your expertise is in. So I want to keep it very casual. And
Okay,
the purpose is to really see how people are doing and what changes you're making in your life. You gave the person's name. They can look her up. I want people to be able to do their own research because unless I'm vetting people and bringing people up as experts in the field, I don't really just want to have a call in with a bunch of people just saying a bunch of different things. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yes, I understand.
Okay.
But I would say it is. I feel okay. Going back to the season change or time of growing, I do believe that is a time of growing within myself. I'm applying for a new job. I decided I was going to. I actually started writing, and that actually cleared up a lot. And I was one of the person who was greatly opposed to writing. And somebody said, just try it. And I actually started writing, and then something happened, and things. I became less angst, and I could see a little
Mm.
clearer. I actually start keeping my apartment clean. Um, and with that, like I guess my thoughts changed a little bit, and like
When you
I
say
just
writing, you're
started
talking
seeing.
about like in a journal?
Yes, I started writing out ideas. Honestly, I started writing out a few ideas, and I just started expressing things from my past and how I felt about them, and I got some clarity as I was writing. You've mentioned conversations with God.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I somewhat had several experiences like that as I was writing something out, and I got my answer, and I guess that fueled my mindset change, and I didn't think that I'd be applying for a new job, and it's like I do. I want more. I was like, I'm capable of more. I can have more, and it's like all I got to do is reach out and get it. So,
Nice.
I'm yeah, uh, yeah. I don't really have much to talk about. I just want to ride the wave and speak in. Love your page, love your work. I'm part of the what do you call it, the tech subscribers.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
How
avid
come you don't show
supporter.
up behind the scenes?
Um, Honestly, if it's sending through email, if it's coming through email, I hardly ever check my email. And as of now, I only get to strict text notifications about the show, and that's
Okay.
what I've been coming to.
Okay. Okay. All right. I got you. I got you. I got you. Well, we have a little group behind the scenes on Telegram. And so far I think there's only one guy in there.
Oh, Tonya, I really love your page. I kind of forced it down. I try to force it down the women in my family's throats, and it kind of annoys them. But like the thing, someone called you, like you've been getting all this flack, and it's like, how the hell people don't see that she really trying to make people's better? It's like only people like, and
Well,
just
you know
coming
what
from
the
a
thing
guy,
about it is? Oh, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I'll let you finish and then I'll say my part.
coming from a guy, it's kind of it's like I am gay too, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But coming from a guy who actually sees what y'all like, I'm even more so from watching y'all show. It's like how people don't see this. A plus, I'm gonna say A plus B equals C, and they explaining
Mm-hmm.
the whole formula. And the reason these women sound crazy is because they don't explain it. They don't explain it in Rainbow. They don't explain it in trigonometry. They don't explain it in pop-up books.
What are you talking about? You have to give me an example because I don't know what you're talking about.
Um, like
Explain what.
okay, so like if you hear
Mm-hmm.
like these men like, oh, these women are crazy or their expectations are too high.
Mm-hmm.
I would say prime example, the lady with the bus in the Yala Van Zant. Like I saw a video where a grown man said that against this woman that he don't even know, never even met, said that she hurt our feelings. And I was like, how this woman that you don't even know, you probably don't even want, hurt your feelings because she said she don't want to date a bus driver.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
like
that
she
is
said, it goes
bizarre.
back to the mindset. Like she said, I'm trying to, generational wealth and things. And it's like, as people, it's like some people I do understand some people gonna get it and some people not, but it's like, gee whiz, how many people gonna get it? It's
Yeah,
like
you know,
I think
that's actually part of what's really fatiguing. It's like it's sink or swim out here. You're gonna sink or you're gonna swim. And people just want you to continue to throw the life raft out to them and they want women to support them. It's just
yeah.
bizarre. But what I was going to
Okay.
say is that astrophysicist, I was on his page and apparently he has haters too. I saw people, somebody was like, oh, he watched one video on space and now he think he an astrophysicist. Another person was telling him, please don't reproduce and all this stuff. There's people out there, so I'm saying people not
Wow.
doing well. I know this, like who would come out of nowhere just talking craziness like that to someone else? But yeah, it's out here. So it's not just me.
Mm. Well, hey, for the ones who get it, they gonna get it, and the ones who don't, I guess they'll get it. Like Erica Badu said, I guess I see it next lifetime.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. Some people just not gonna, I'm sorry, I'm trying to put on my lipstick at the moment. Some people just not gonna get
I'm
it.
fine.
Some people just not gonna get it. And they are going to die and never get it. It just is what it is.
Mm.
Well, James, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate your phone call.
Oh, thank you for letting me talk. I appreciate it. Have a nice one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. All right, the phone lines are open. Alpha Omega, where are you? How come you just want to sit in tight, but you don't want to call and let your opinion be heard? Mm, mm, mm. All right, phone lines are open. I'm almost done with my makeup. So let me see, which color am I gonna put on? I could put on a little mauve, get a little mauvey, marvelous for you. So it's almost time for us to take another quick commercial break. My timer also helps me know how long I've been on. So right now there's 334 people on the broadcast. If each person sent $1, that would more than support the broadcast. So the Cash App link is right here. The QR code is on the screen. And we're going to be taking a quick break where you'll be able to see the Cash App and the PayPal and all of those different links there. And then we will be, I'm trying to talk and put on my lipstick at the same time. And then after that, we will be coming together to do, we'll be coming together to, oh my Lord, I'm thinking unclear. I'm not even thinking clearly. I just want to get my last bit of lipstick on before we take our break, and it's coming in 4 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to check the apples in just a moment. Let me take a quick break and allow you all to be able to get these QR codes so that you can support the broadcast that support you. Here we go. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Is there an echo? I need to check on that. I didn't realize that there was an echo. There shouldn't be, but we'll check on it. We'll check on it. Oh, somebody says no echo for them. All right. And Britt is excited for the lipstick package. Yes, 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 yes. All right. How is my little quick makeup looking? Is it all right? It should be all right. It should be all right. All right. So, okay. All right. So, I'm gonna open up the phone lines, take one more phone call. Let me get the 20 minutes back on the clock. Does 20 minutes? Oh, wait, we gotta do the cash apps. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Where is my cash app thing? Oh my goodness. How did that happen? How did it happen that the cash app thing is now broken? That's weird. Let me take a look at this real quick. It's not. Oh, it's working now. All right. I don't know if Mercury's in retrograde or what, but let's take a look. All right. So Sierra sends $10. Hey Sierra, you've been rocking with me for a minute. I remember your name from 10 years ago at least. I'm sure. I'm sure. Delia sends $5 and says, first cash app, stay strong. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Joey sends $10 and says, love your intellectual content. Thank you. I'm glad that you find it to be intellectual. So I wanted to ask you all 20 minutes between cash apps. Does that seem like too short? Does it seem too long? Does it seem just right? Let me know, because for me, the 20 minutes is coming very quickly. Like I did not expect for it to come that quick, but it has come. How do I stop? Oh, that's not the right thing. There we go. All right, so we have restart the 20-minute timer. We're turning back. That sounds a little loud. We're turning back on the phone lines. And so 323-488-3149. The number is going across the screen right here, 323-488-3149. And I'm going to take one last phone call. And then after that, we're going to jump into this I was going to say Delilah, this Danae situation. All right. Master is saying, I'm going to blame everything on the smog. I know that's right. Do however you need to do. Blame it on the rain, blame it on the pain, blame it on the Okay, let's just go on from there. All right, so phone lines are open. I'm going to take one last phone call. I know there's somebody out there that has something that they want to say. So this is going to be my look for the Danae video. I feel like my skin complexion is not as even as it could be, but I mean, it is what it is. I just finished getting a bunch of sun, so my complexion should be looking even, but it is what it is. What do you think of the lipstick? Looks very pouty and cute, right? Yeah. Bura, yes? How did you get your name to be green? That's crazy. Everybody else's name, it looks like Twitch. The names come up in green. That's so interesting. All right. So I know there's somebody. So I'll finish talking about myself and the change and all of these different things. I just feel like a lot of the people who are talking online are just talking and creating videos to provide confirmation bias for people. And then people get stuck in an echo chamber where they're not really able to effect real change in their lives because they're so busy thinking about what other people are doing wrong and how other people need to change, etc. You know, I'll say this, right? I'll say this because I'm in a situation now where there are people who are confusing me with a narcissist, right? Who has come out and is saying all types of craziness about me, right? And I just have to implore people to ask. You have to just take a look because I realize from being in this situation that um people really just don't know. They don't know who the true aggressor and assailant is or are. They really don't know. And it can look very difficult to perceive from the outside looking in. I would tell people to look at patterns, right? Take a look at patterns and see whether or not there's a pattern of certain behavior, as well as I'd say from what it is that I'm experiencing, an obsession with the other person long after this person has removed themselves from the situation and this person is still bringing it up, still pretending as if they have a connection to this person and all of that. I would say just take a look at that. What does the data show? You know what I mean? Because in one situation, we have real life court records and court documents that show a pattern of troubling mental behavior, right? And on the other hand, we have just people's opinions. And you know what? And there are people who will say, "Oh, well, Tonya has done she's done collaborations with people and they no longer collaborate." Okay, I'm protecting my peace, but you don't see me naming names and talking about people and trying to keep them in my life and all of that. You don't see me doing that. We did our videos. You say what you want to say, and I just keep it moving, right? Um, MN says, I wouldn't know who that narc is. I purposely avoid those drama filled channels. Child, listen. And there's a lot going on out there for sure, for sure. Phone lines are open 323-488-3149. If we don't have any more calls, then I'm just going to jump off of here and we're going to jump into OF says that's crazy. This is still going on. The proof was in the pudding. Let me tell you, the thing about it is that people remember with confirmation bias and is also there's a fallacy of likability that people think that if they like a person, then this person is not going to do wrong, or they perceive different external factors to determine whether or not they like a person. How many of you, I mean, you'll see it and I was going to ask how many of you have seen a person who does audio content, and then when you see them, you have like you see their image or their picture or the way they move their mouth or whatever, then you have a different feeling about them. How many of you have noticed that the channels that do the best are the ones where the content creator hides their face? Well, the black channels that do the best are the ones where the content creator never shows their face. And it's because in our society, we have so many preconceived notions about people, black women, black men, that we actually can develop biases just based on the way a person looks, just based on that. And so it's difficult. It's difficult. Did Alpha and Omega leave? Because I thought that this person would have called in. Marius, I like that name actually. Is it pronounced Marius or Marius? Do AR for Arius and do AH for Marius. I want to see how it's pronounced. That's cute. Alicia is saying, Tonya, do you smell that smoke where you are? No, I don't smell any smoke, dear. I don't smell any smoke. And Jamaica says, I have a few content creators that don't and they don't cover their faces. I don't know what that means because we kind of moved from there. Mother always says you have your own problems and things to worry about. Focus on that. We do base our comment on the way a person looks. And so one of the things that we have, there's also, so I've been reading this book, right? Where's my book? Hold on. I've been reading this book right here. The name of the book is The Art of Thinking Clearly. And this book has opened up my mind to so many different logical fallacies that we create. You can go ahead and write this down. You know, I'm not typically the person that promotes books and stuff, but this is the person's name. It looks like Ralph Dobelli, right? And so one of the things that we do is there's this scarcity of good Black men in our community. And what that does is it creates this desperation in the women where we're like, oh, well, I don't know when I'm going to find another good Black man. Oh, you know, Black men are not really standing up for us. So that all we have to do is have any person with a penis who happens to be brown come out to the camera, say some flattering words, and then you all are sending them hundreds and thousands of dollars. And part of the reason that this is happening is because of several logical fallacies compiled all at once. One of them is the scarcity mindset. The second one is confirmation bias. The third one is likability politics, you know, where you have a predisposition to thinking that you like a person simply because you identify or want to identify with them. So yeah, so that is that. All right. So since we have I'm waiting for the last phone call. Tim says the problem is that you can make money on drama. The more like you have, the more money you can make. Um I guess I suppose, but it's not really about the likes that people get. It's about the eyeballs because people just really want to be seen. And so they just say anything to make sure that they're seen. All right. We got one more apple that has come in from Kim Williams. She sends $5 in for support. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. If that is it, then I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to fill up my water bottle and then we're going to come back and we are going to Audra is saying I'm guilty of that. I'm not really sure what you're guilty of. Green says drama sells. It really does because people want to keep up on what the latest is in drama details. And there's a lot that we need to talk about and keep up with, honestly. There's a lot we need to talk about and keep up with. So I noticed the women that don't address their haters really glow up. Look at Beyonce and Mariah like Teflon. What? When did Beyonce glow up? Beyonce has always, I mean, Beyonce is a preference and she has always been promoted in a preference-y way. So I'm not really sure when she glowed up. If anything, the underdogs of that group, if they would have glowed up, I mean, see, I think that, you know, making a statement like that and people can be like, oh yeah, that's true because people get in an echo chamber. Another thing that I realized from reading this book is that people in group settings just agree with one another because they don't want to be outcasted. And we don't have enough people playing devil's advocate, challenging the status quo, etc. So I will say with that whole Beyonce thing, there's so many instances of people who didn't address their haters and they never glowed up, you know? And I don't really know if we can say that Beyonce glowed up because Beyonce was always Beyonce. You know what I mean? And Valerie says, but you can't live off of drama. Your shine is temporary. It really depends because Kitten Heels was able to make millions off of being a controversial figure and gaslighting men into thinking that what it is that he was saying he believed, right? Audra says, trusting and believing in a person based on what they say or appear to be. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, that happens. That happens. That happens. Valerie, mon ami. Okay, nobody is going to call in, so I'm going to jump off of here. I haven't had lunch yet, but one thing that I did discover is I discovered cold oats with what do you call this? Steel cut oats. Oh my goodness. Delicious. I like it. That's my favorite. You just have to let it soak in the fridge overnight, and it's so hearty. So that has kept me full for the whole morning. But now it's 2 p.m. and I need to I need to oh my gosh. I need to eat lunch. That's what I need to do because I'm reading these comments and trying to figure out what people are saying and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you? I don't understand the grammar, blah, blah, blah. So, so before I get off of here, I'm just going to finish speaking about where it is that I am and then see if there's somebody else out there who is feeling what it is that I'm feeling. Um, Somebody is saying, I love steel cut oats. Well, you know what? Eat your steel cut oats cold. Um, Let them soak inside. I like them so much better than hot oatmeal and less dishes too, right? So, personally, I've just really have become turned off by the topics that we've been discussing. I've been turned off by just going around in these circular arguments where people are speaking for large swaths of the population. Like, you can't speak for all women, you can't speak for all men, you can't even speak for the majority. And unless you've done some sort of research, then what are you even talking about? You're only talking about your anecdotal advice. I saw an image yesterday of Andrew Tate. That mofo looked terrible. He looked like he's going through some things. It's like it's like the devil catches up with you sooner or later. It's like you can't outrun your karma. And it's like, ugh. I also, you know what? I want to start creating content that I want to talk about that has specific lessons that I want to teach. And that Andrew Tate situation is one of those situations that has a lesson that I want to teach because I feel that it's important. Let me refresh this. All right. So on that note, um, I will see you all in the next video. I'm gonna go grab some lunch, and then I will see you all right after. We're gonna be finishing up this. He went through listen, he looked a mess. He looked like he has some sort of uncurable disease. He looked a mess. So anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Cooked cold steel oat are really good in smoothies. Makes them a lot thicker. And someone is calling right as I'm about to get off. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Tonya. This is Edna. How are you?
Hey, Edna, how are you doing? You're on the air live.
Oh, hi. I thought, oh, yeah, you did say that. I thought that you were wrapping up. Anyway, hello, hi, everyone. I'm doing much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about
I,
how you're doing better. What changed since the last time you called in?
okay, so I took your advice, looking for mental health resources, and it's been a time. And I've gotten somewhere, but it also feels like I've gotten absolutely nowhere.
So you know what? Why don't you
So,
just remind people about what it is that you spoke about the last time you called in?
oh, I don't even know. I feel like a whole nother person
I,
since that
I'll,
time.
I'll, I'll refresh
D-
everyone's memory.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and
So
I'll let you know if, yeah, go
so
ahead.
so Edna is she feels that she may be neurodivergent. She thinks that she may have been on the autism spectrum, I think towards the Asperger side. She also says that she may be asexual and also suffered some childhood traumas and stuff like that, and looking for ways to create healing in her life. So am I correct with all of that I just said?
Yes, that's a beautiful way to wrap it up. I would also just kind of put an asterisk under or next to trauma and kind of clarify that I think, like, we think that trauma needs to be active, and I think passive actions can also lead to trauma.
Tell me what you mean by that. Because a father being
Um,
absent is a passive way that can produce trauma, but what are you referring to?
exactly. With me, it's referring to not looking at who I am or who I was as a child, and giving me what I needed instead of giving me what they wanted me to have.
Okay. Okay. Got you.
So so an example for me, and that's why I'm still working through it. Like, I'm in the midst of it.
Mhm.
But one thing was what instrument to play. I had to be an extracurricular. I wanted to, I like music. Okay, so you're gonna be in band. I want you to play the saxophone. Well, I really like the bass clarinet.
Mm.
It, it's
Got
not
you.
something, traumatic, like what we think of as traumatic, but little things like that, once they add up, just compound into a lot.
Okay, okay. From what I remember from us talking, I remember that there was some active trauma, not just passive trauma. I don't keep the memories inside of my head because I like to respect people's
hmm
privacy, but I do remember there being some active trauma as well. Is that not correct?
Well, I'm sure there are. I'm thinking of like the big things
Okay.
that YouTube doesn't like us to even talk about,
Got you, got
and
you.
I just don't want it to be confused with something like that in
Okay.
case anyone is like, "Hey, I know her. She's fine." I
Okay.
I'm not
Got you.
disregarding the help and the love and the whatever that I've received throughout my life. It's just that on my end, it's basically the difference between intent and
Got you.
impact.
Got you, got you, got you. Well, you know what? I want you to give us an update on what it is that you have done that is different. We have come to the time to do a quick break. So the break is about 2 minutes. So I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to put you on hold and then come back, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Okay. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Edna, you're still here?
Yes, I am.
All right, wonderful. I'm going to check the apples in just a moment, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell us what has changed, what's been going on in your life, because you said things have changed, but it's also been kind of unchanged.
Right. So, okay, so with you reminding me, I've kind of come around to the neurodivergence in a different way, where I think of it less as a disorder, as it's kind of like a sickness or like an illness. So not, but more temporary, not something that I can't heal. Like before, I was thinking of it like blindness almost, where it's like, okay, you can't see, and that's just how you're going to be for the rest of your life.
Mm,
And now I see it as something that can be improved upon.
mm, okay. Okay, like
And
partial
then
hearing or something like that instead of total hearing loss.
right, like, well, you have your hearing aids, or you have different surgeries that can restore hearing. Like who knows? But it's just the fact that it's not so defined and limited in the scope of how it presents, and what I have to deal with it in my life. Because
Got you.
I've noticed, yeah. So that's one part, and then so that makes me look at things like my sexuality differently, whereas I still identify very much as asexual, but I don't see it as I don't know. I'm still working with it, so it's hard to explain, but I just see it a little bit differently.
Differently in what way? Do you feel that you may not be asexual? That you may
No, I feel that I am asexual. I think maybe what's different is the why
Oh,
or the
okay.
how.
Okay. Okay. So you think that the
Yeah.
autism may be related to the asexuality?
Yes. Because I think it's all just kind of like a bruise on my nervous system. And it's like when it comes to sexuality, it's like I'm not going to be attracted to someone else. I'm not going to want to reproduce, and you might maybe be able to add to this with your background in evolutionary uh, psychology,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like I'm not at a point or a state to be able to reproduce, to take care of offspring, to do all of that takes. My body isn't able to do all of that when I'm feeling so frazzled. I feel overwhelmed all the time. It just doesn't make sense. So why would I have those urges?
Oh, very interesting. And so Lady Bird is coming up with something very, very poignant. Have you gotten a diagnosis yet to confirm whether or not you may or
No.
may not be autistic? Why not?
Well, I so with my healthcare, they didn't do the testing in my area. Like just flat out, they don't offer it. And when I guess like my immediate network, and then when I look to the greater area, everything's geared towards children. So it's just very difficult to navigate as an adult.
Mm.
Um, when I really need the help. Like if I was on my A game, then I can go and I could talk to people and whatever. But I'm having like panic attacks just trying to go through routine doctor's visits and things. So it's just a lot to deal with.
Okay, and then what about your therapist? Because you said you got a therapist, correct?
I Okay, so I had a couple of appointments, or I tried to connect with a therapist, but my idea around therapy has been fluid, and it's been hard for me to kind of stay on track with connecting the effort that I have to put out to get therapy with the reward, because I'm not seeing any reward. It just feels like it's such a drain, and I'm still working with that. So I've had some appointments, but I haven't really gotten anything from them.
You've spoken with a therapist?
Yes.
Okay, because when you said you've had some appointments, I didn't know if those were appointments to be assessed or whatnot. So you've spoken with the therapist several times. How many times did you speak with the therapist? 3 times?
I
Four
had,
times? Two
I
times?
think I had two, I think I had 2 or 3 appointments with like a psychologist. And that's the thing, because it's like psychiatric is psychology. So, and I'm not a health, I'm not a mental health expert. So
Mm-hmm.
the different terms aren't interchangeable. So it's hard to say what's what when I'm not really sure. But I've had virtual appointments as well as in person appointments. So I had maybe 3 in-person appointments with psychiatrists, but I've had maybe 2 or 3 online appointments with psychiatrists
With a
or psychologists.
psychologist. And you said you didn't get any help from them, that it wasn't worth the effort. Why? What were you looking
I
for
think with
from
my
them?
I think with my neurodiversity, the communication was just off. Like I'm talking and I'm trying to highlight the things that make sense to me, but it's not making sense to them because they're not in my head. And it was difficult for me to communicate effectively
Interesting, interesting.
because the parameters are based off of what I said, right? It's all on me. And if I'm going through a hard time and it's hard for me to figure out and kind of have clear thinking, it's almost impossible to communicate that to someone else.
Well, you know what? I say try a different therapist. Because a therapist
And I
relationship
am.
is just like any
Like
other
I'm not giving up.
relationship. Yeah, try a different therapist because I mean I had a therapist recently that I I I don't want to talk about it publicly, but I felt as if she was charmed by me. And I don't want my therapist to be
Oh,
charmed. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I don't want my therapist to get caught in the story. You know what I mean? Like I want my therapist to
Absolutely. I remember you saying that.
okay,
I
yeah.
had a similar situation with a friend, and I think it's them not wanting to like hurt you or to limit you in any kind of way um with themselves. So maybe they just kind of like let you go. Now I don't know with your therapist if she was maybe inadvertently like influencing you in different ways that led you to think that she was being charmed. But with me, it was just kind of one of those things where I think my friend just didn't want to kind of like get in my way,
Well,
and it's
I
kind of
think
like, well,
but a
no.
friend and a therapist are very different things. But no, I'll say with the therapist that I had,
Mhm.
I told her I felt like she was engaged in the story and not asking questions to really get to the bottom of the story, like things that I may not have been aware of, that I was saying,
Mm.
but not really wanting to get to the climax of the story, but really kind of digging through the story to look for.
Like she was too in like the physical. She wasn't looking at the greater picture or the greater meaning.
Well, that was just my interpretation of it, but
Okay.
I'm currently looking for a different therapist. I'm looking for somebody, how I ask people questions on the phone and I'm not anybody's friend. When somebody calls in and they need help, it's not really about being your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm here to ask questions and to really help you help yourself. I want a therapist who is going to help me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not to not get caught in the anecdotes and the lies that I tell myself. You know what I mean? And just really
Mhm.
kind of
The
leave the
delusions.
you
That's my word for it.
well,
But
I told an untruth that I really wanted to believe. Um
mhm.
and the untruth just and it's part of what led to my burnout. I wasn't asked follow-up questions. I didn't get the dive in deep, You know what I mean? And this is why I kind of hold people's feet to the fire and really kind of ask questions so that people can really think and dive into their own minds, because sometimes we just really don't know. Like sometimes, like, you know what? I'll give you an example. Not a therapy example, but just like a life example. I was at
Okay.
someone's house recently and I was making home fries. And the person came by the frying pan and was like, "Why are your home fries so big?" She was like, "The flavor would get onto the potatoes better if the pieces were smaller." And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, you know what? You're right. Why are my home fries so big?" And I realized my home fries were so big because my mother made them that way. She cut the potatoes in big wedges and she made the home fries that way. And I was like, I'm just going through rote movement where even I wasn't even aware of the fact that, and you know what? And the thing is, when I've eaten the home fries, I typically have like big pieces of potato that are just kind of like dry potato, like no flavor on
Not cooked
them.
well.
No, cooked
Mhm.
well. They're cooked well, but just dry, no seasoning because it was just a big wedge, right?
Mhm. Right.
And so I was like, I've just been going through these motions all of these years without ever chopping down my home fries smaller, just muscle memory, just this is the way it's always been. And so I give that
Right.
example because, like, when it comes to understanding our behaviors, like with other things, whether it's romance or finance or our life goals and path, some of the motions, we are just going through these motions. And unless we have a pattern interrupt, we're just going to continue to do things that way. So since then, I've been chopping down my home fries smaller, and the flavor is sublime because it's
Mm,
just better that
nice.
way. It's just better that way. So yeah, so that's what I need. I need
And
somebody who's
for
going to ask me questions the way I ask people questions.
and the thing for me is I wonder if therapy and the traditional like talk therapy is what best suits me because I'm more analytical. Like I like to look at the data, run the numbers, um, reflect, be able to see like charts and things like that as an accountant, as a science minded person. So, and I get therapy and like how it's helpful, but if my brain doesn't work that way, it just doesn't work that way.
So why don't you think about what it is that you need and have that conversation with a therapist. Let your therapist know, you know
Right.
what, I have an analytical mind and what resonates with me are charts and graphing. And you can probably chart and graph yourself with the help of a psychological professional. For I'm a big advocate for utilizing the assistance of professionals. And I would
Oh
say
yes.
work with a therapist until you can work on your own.
Yes, I agree. 100%. I know that I need the help, and and I'm just kind of looking to see what's available and what I can benefit from, because I do want to be careful not to create, I don't know, further harm, trying to force myself into a system that I don't understand either. Because if I don't understand how they're trying to help me, then they can be doing X, Y, and Z for my betterment, but I'm not taking it that way. And I'm just in
Mm.
distress in the meantime until I catch up with it.
Well, they have different psychological modalities. There's CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, and there's different modes of teaching that different people use. And you can ask your
Right.
therapist which mode of teaching do you use, as well as just figure out what it is that you need, how you need it, and then go from there. But try a
It's like
different
I need to
person.
revisit Psych 100 to understand how to get therapy because there is so much to it. I think that's what we don't understand, or that's not what's highlighted. We're just told, oh, go find a therapist, and we think whatever therapist we meet could be the one. It's like, not necessarily. It's a lot of factors that come into play.
Okay. All right. Well, I hear you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you jump off. I don't want you to stay in your head. Um, what my point in talking about the therapist is that the therapist can assist you in getting the testing for your perhaps neurodivergence, because
Oh, right.
they
Mhm.
may have resources that are available that may not be available just from your regular insurance. So, on that note, Ma, I'm going to let you jump off and I'm going to go and eat my lunch and then go from there.
Okay, well, thank you and enjoy. Bye, everyone.
All right. Love you, girl. Bye. All right. So, let me get these phone lines off. Um, all right. So, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. How does my sound? I have my microphone closer than I typically have it. I don't like my microphone being shown in the scene, but I have it a little bit closer today than I typically do. Um, I like my makeup. I think it looks soft and pretty. My skin is not as flawless as it could be, but I didn't put on any foundation and I don't feel like having foundation on my face. Plus, men don't wear foundation and some of their skin be looking really good. So, I don't want to have to be dependent on foundation and all that other stuff, right? Lady is saying, I wish I had called in trying to give grace for where she is. It's just triggering hearing her overwhelm herself. Well, when you start talking about triggers, triggers are internal. So you have to look within yourself to figure out why you're being triggered. I saw that you were a little kind of miffed by the fact that she was talking about, autism and the word cure, right? But I think that you should listen to that part again and take your feelings out of it because I don't think she was saying that autism can be cured. I think what she was saying is that instead of looking at it as a bleak diagnosis, but looking at it in the same way that you look at any illness that can be improved, like you can improve the way that you navigate, that it just doesn't have to be point blank. Like I have a friend, because you all know that I volunteered in the autism world, and I have a friend who has a nonverbal autistic son, and he's an adult now, and she had not been able to communicate with him up until recently, when she discovered that he is able to use a pad to be able to type out and express his thoughts. So, like, you would never know that all of these thoughts were going on the inside, but he had this pad and he's able to communicate now with this pad. So the communication has been improved. The all of so there are different ways in which people relate that can be improved upon. So yes, absolutely. I mean, it just doesn't have to be, just this. It can be improved upon. So I want us all to just really kind of look inside and get out of our feelings and just, but you know what? I don't want people to keep it inside. I was having a conversation with an associate earlier, and I was talking about how when I was on my trip that I had gained, a little bit of weight, right? And she said to me, well, you were eating popcorn the other day, so the salt may make you look bigger than you actually are. And I immediately got like real triggered. I was like, oh, and I said it out loud and I was like, wow, I told her how I felt. And she was like, no, I don't even see how you got that from that. I was just really and I realized that I had to check myself because I was feeling self-conscious, because especially look, because when I started my journey, I was almost 240 pounds. I don't want to go back there. So with me regaining a little bit of this weight, I don't know whether or not things are going to go out of control. You know what I mean? So when she said that, I'm already in panic mode because I'm like, I just don't want to just lose it. And then next thing you know, I'm in the space that I was, because it was difficult for me. Like, I went on my healing journey because I had lost a lot of mobility. I was not able to lift and do all of these things, like getting up in the morning when I went to the bathroom. It was difficult to get down, and I had to put my hands and push myself up, and I felt really old and stiff and immobile, and I don't ever want to go back there. So regaining a little bit of weight really just kind of put me in panic mode. And if there's somebody, or Herb is saying, yo, look bad. It's so silly. I don't know if you're talking about me and you're trying to say I look bad. I know I'm beautiful. You see, the thing is that you can't you can't insult me. You can't insult me because I know what the truth is. So nonetheless, so when she said that, I was really just kind of like, I had this jolt, but I said it out loud to her, and saying it out loud actually helped me in releasing, just like really just hearing myself, like, what are you saying? Like, this is my issue. Like, that's not even what, what she said, but I had to check myself. So I think it's important for us to get journals. I think it's important for us to speak up, but not hold other people accountable for our feelings. Realize that our feelings are our feelings, but sometimes just saying it out loud will release the pressure of it. You know what I mean? Because far too often we look for ways to make other people wrong, but sometimes we're the ones that need to create the change. Sometimes nobody is wrong. Sometimes we just need to create a change. You know what I mean? So listen, on that note, let me check the apples one last time. And I think all of the apples are in. And Brat is saying that that's very relatable. Yeah, well, this is real life. This is real life, and we're all really doing the very best that we can. Even that person who was screaming out their foolishness about how yo look bad and this type of stuff. One of the things that I realize is that there's a lot of miserable, unhappy people out there who are just taking it out on other people. And would I consider such comments as unsolicited advice? You know what it is that troubled me about that? I'm like, why are you looking at what I'm eating? Why are you worried about what I'm eating? It's like, I don't want to feel policed when I'm eating. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel policed. I don't want to, but if a person is judging, apparently a person is looking at the food that I am eating, because perhaps maybe they want some. maybe she wanted some of that, and maybe, she doesn't allow herself to get salt because she's afraid that the salt will make her bloated or whatnot. But not having salt in your life is just not realistic. Foods have salt. Salt is savory. You know what I mean? Salt is savory. Foods have salt in it. And part of the issue that when I went on vacation, when I started eating different types of food, like I had not built up and I had been abstaining for so long anyway that that it was really nice to be able to eat mayonnaise and eat all the butter and flour. It was nice. It was nice to eat those things. But I'm back, and I need to figure out balance. That's what I want. I want balance. I want to be able to eat those things when I choose to, but eat in moderation. And I understand that. Valent is saying you look stunning. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I will be back in a little bit. I'm going to go eat some lunch, and then, but you know what? Our bodies have enough salt in them already that we don't have to add additional salt from what it is that I'm hearing. But nonetheless, let me get out of here. I'm on for eat. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Tonya TK, I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And let me see the self-love lessons from today's video. What are the self-love lessons? Let me see. And then we're going to get out of here. What is the self-love lesson you learned from today's video? The self-love lesson I learned from today's video is today was the first time that I used my, oh, there's my thing. Today was the first time that I used my screen to encourage people to contribute without having to be aggressive about it. And I learned that, taking care of myself is my job, and implementing those things to take care of myself is a part of my own self-care. And so I'm glad that I use the alarm. The alarm helps me understand or know how long I've actually been on, because I love talking to you all. And then I'm on here, and then before I know it, 3 hours has passed. And then, and I hate being like, oh, give, cat, give. You know what I mean? But doing that screen really has assisted me. So and I hope that it's been an assist to you all as well. So you all can let me know what it is that you think about the screen with the little hold music, etc. Right? All right. So Jessica says, I appreciate your live. Thank you. SLL, type the self-love lesson. I want to see. Make sure I got everyone. All right. Check yourself before you try to check anyone else. Okay. I feel you on that. I feel you. And also, you know what? Recently, life has humbled me. I have been humbled. And so that is an area of growth that I've just experienced, where I have been humbled by certain situations in life that have let me know that, I am fallible like anyone else. All right. So type SLL. Let me see what these self-love lessons are. Come on, type. I don't see people typing the lessons. Did no one learn any self-love lessons from today's video? If you didn't, that's cool. SLL, get your diagnosis so you can get appropriate treatment. Yes, that's a good one. I appreciate that. Yes. Let's see. Any other self-love? Anybody else learn any self-love lessons? I think that that's an important lesson too to pick up on. Michelle, we're jumping out of here. You're just coming on. All right, let's see. Any other self-love lessons anybody else gathered? But if not, that's fine. If you come on the video later, you can always type your self-love lessons in the comments after we're off. All right, so I am going to see you all in the next video where we're going to be finishing up that trilogy, because there's so many pieces and layers to that. All right, SLL, I learned to take care of myself when I feel overwhelmed and not take on too much I couldn't handle. I'm working on understanding why I do the things I do. I really enjoyed this live. Thank you. Audra has been here since 2019. So you came in right before the pandemic. SLL, ask for what you need. SLL, learning to be kind to myself. Michelle, join the text notification squad. The link is in the description. You can just go to tonyatko.com and click on text. And so Elle says, my happiness is my responsibility. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Do what's best for me in any situation. Yes. I love these self-love lessons. I love them. All right, so I'm going to look for a few more, and then I'm going to jump out of here. Invest in your mental health care. Value all lessons and accountability. Elle, you just typed that. My happiness is my responsibility. Okay, I see it. All right, all right, I will see you all in the next video. I probably need to stretch too. Wellness Wednesdays, y'all. Peace.